All right, I'm Josh Holmgren, and my wife Alicia and I were called last August to be in charge of all the activities for Trek. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of time, a lot of work. We spent a ton of time with the Johansons planning everything. It's been great working with them, and I think we've got a great Trek plan. Just wanted to go over one final activity that we have planned before Trek. So on May 15th, we're going to have a temple walk activity where we're going to start up at the west side of Welcome Back Temple. We're going to walk down 40th West, go down 118 to the 118th building. It's all downhill. It's going to be nice. We're going to have people along the way helping with traffic stops and such. But we'll have a short program when we get to the church. We got some great speakers lined up, and it'll be a fun little activity. We're going to have all the youth come from the stake, even the beehives and beacons, so they can have an opportunity to enjoy some of this Trek-related activity. So just be aware of that. We'd love to have you guys be there on the 15th. I think we're going to start at 6:30 up at the temple. So I wanted to go through kind of, not get too into the weeds, but go through the basic flow of the schedule for Trek. So I think in one of the emails that Eric sent out, there was a sample itinerary that the Mosita folks had put together. It's kind of the recommended optional use of the Trek and the schedule. We've changed a couple things from what they suggested. We're still kind of finalizing every little detail. We'll probably send you the more detailed itinerary right before when we have everything finalized. But if you've noticed, Mosita has done an amazing job really planning so many things for us. And as we've met numerous times and as we've talked as leadership, we really want to make sure this Trek is as simple as it can be, and we want to focus time and energy on having moments with our youth, letting the youth have moments with themselves, and having some free time, have some solo time, and really enjoy Trek. We don't want to over-plan. I know I've been on this is my 5th Trek, and you can over-plan Trek, and if there's too much going on, you never have a chance to relax and just enjoy the experience for what it is. So we've tried to build in some times to do that. So the plan will be that we'll have a drop-off of all the supplies Sunday evening. We haven't picked a specific time, but probably 5 or 6 Sunday before, so June 9th. What you'll do is you'll bring your bucket with your supplies that are mentioned in the handbook about what to supply in your bucket, your sleeping bag, the tents. The base camp will be loading all that stuff up in trailers Sunday night. The kids will each get assigned their company color. There's 7 different companies, and so they'll be assigned a company color. So they will know Sunday night the company they're in. They won't know their specific family, but that will allow the base camp to organize all of the buckets by color, by company, so that when they go down Monday morning early, they'll be able to kind of separate by company, and so when we all get there, it'll be easier to organize things. So that'll be Sunday night. We have a little packet of items that each youth will get. I think we're going to defer that to Monday morning when we get to the site. With the moms and pods, we'll give you a little packet. It'll include a handkerchief with your company color, a journal that we have for each of the kids. It'll have a wristband, like a leather bracelet that the kids will each get for Trek, and some other little supplies. We'll do that when we get there, as opposed to Sunday night, so the kids don't forget it or don't need to bring it. So that happens. So that's Sunday night. Any questions about Sunday night before? It just be a drop off of everything, so that Monday morning we're ready to go. So Monday, the plan is that we're going to meet here at 6:30. Because our group is so huge, we're planning on anywhere from 320 to 350 kids. There's about 150 other people, so it's about 500 people total on our Trek.
Yeah. How many kids is to be in each family?
Depending on what the final number is, but it'll probably be 7 to 9 kids in a family. So there's smaller families than maybe other treks that we've been on, but I think that's going to provide an opportunity for each kid to have some really good one-on-one time with the mom pod and get to know them really well. So because our group's so big, the missionaries are going to come here to the Stake Center to do the initial orientation. It's nothing too crazy complicated. It's basically just handcart safety, reviewing things you guys already know, but just give the youth a chance to hear from them. We'll meet in the chapel / cultural hall. We'll do a little presentation beforehand at 6:30. We will have some breakfast items there for the kids, muffins. What else is planned for food? otherwise, I don't know, we'll have things for them to eat. You know, good parfait, that's right. Chick-fil-A. So they can come, if they want to eat before as well, that's fine. Some kids like to eat breakfast, but we will have food here for them Monday morning. They'll need to, everyone will need to pack their own lunch for Monday. You'll bring that with you, and you'll eat that for lunch Monday. We won't have a lunch prepared by the food committee on Monday. So the orientation will go around 7:30 or so, maybe 7:15. We'll gather everyone up to leave from Waseda. Fortunately, it's only about an hour away. You just head straight to Redwood Road, west side of Utah Lake, and you get there. It's just north of Alberta. If you've been down there, there's a turnoff. So it's nice, it's not too far away. The way we're organizing the youth getting down there is we're going to pre-plan that with the wards will be responsible to get their youth to the trek site. We're not going to try to do it by family because the kids won't find out who their family is until we get to Waseda Monday morning. So each ward has a transportation person involved to organize all that. So each ward is organizing getting their youth there Monday morning. Once we arrive, again, everything will be organized by company. We have huge flags that we're creating by company, so you'll know where to go. Once you get to your company flag area, we'll be organizing the families. You guys will all be there as miles and miles waiting, and you'll. Not exactly sure how we're going to get all the kids in your family, but we'll all be there helping get families together. At that time, we'll give you a family flag that we're creating that's pretty good size. It's like 4 feet by 3 feet, and we're going to give you some markers and things. So one thing to think about is beforehand, when I went the last couple of times, we didn't really think about this before, but if you want to think about a potential family name for your family or some options or design, just have some ideas beforehand. I know my family last time we kind of got stuck in the mud for about an hour, like what's your family name? And so to save some time, maybe have some ideas beforehand. So when you get there, depending on when you actually depart on the trail, you'll have some time to create that family flag together, and we'll have all the supplies there for you to do that. And then there's a little post on the back of your hand cart where you'll just slip the flag on, and it'll just be on the back of your cart the whole time. So the plan is to leave somewhere around 10:15 to go out on the trail. They do a good job of having stops along the way for water and such. I think this first stretch is about 2.5 miles. It's probably the longest stretch of walking without really having a specified stop. The first day in total is going to be about 8 miles walk. It's the longest walk day of the trek. And so just be prepared for that. We'll leave around 10:15. Lunch will be around 1 o'clock or so. Again, bring a sack lunch. Everyone needs to bring their own sack lunch for that meal. And then we'll kind of do a loop and come back around and hope to arrive at the camp spot around 4:30. You'll need to set up your tents. The plan is to have a tent for the boys, a tent for the girls. And if there's enough, you'll probably have a tent for you and your couple. You'll have your own tent for your spouse. You'll need to set up camp, and then we will have a little bit of time when you get there on Monday just to kind of settle in. We're not planning any direct activities. Dinner will be probably around 6 after we get there. After dinner, we plan to have a hoedown. So we do a hoedown activity kind of as a precursor to what we'll do on trek. So Monday night we'll have a hoedown around 7:30. It should be a really fun activity. Hopefully we'll have really good participation and the kids can quickly get through I don't want to dance because I have them on the hoedown. After a while everyone, I think, had a really good time. That'll go until about dark, and then after that it's kind of family time. You guys can maybe plan some time with your kids to do something around the fire. Each camp spot will have fire pits. They do allow us to have fires, but they also have sort of the first right of refusal to say no fires. Because we're going so early in June, it is very possible we will have fires. I know last year, in the middle of summer months, they didn't have them, but I think early on they did. So what's the update on that?
So, the email I got from her, did you?
Yeah, that's exactly what she said.
Last year, they quit having fires in the middle of June because it was so dry. So we'll just have to see how things go.
It's pretty green down there right now. We were down there yesterday.
Yeah.
It's a different world from when we went down last fall. It's very green. The fields are growing. They were mowing the grass in the area where base camp will be. So
awesome.
So will each family have a fire or can company?
How was that set up?
So,
I got it down because these
That would be a lot.
the email I got from Sister Pingo yesterday said no individual family fires. We'll have one big fire for the activities that night, but they don't want us to have 42 fires, so.
Yeah, so you'll have a little bit of time Monday night, you know, it won't be too packed. So lights out is typically at 10 p.m. The next day, we'll have wake up call around 7:30. Breakfast will be at 8. There will be a little bit of time Tuesday morning to kind of spend time with your family. One thing that's another good idea, of those that have been on Trek as mom and pa, you know, think of some games you can play that you don't have to have any supplies for, just, you know, signs or some game that you can do sitting around in your buckets. Those are really good things to do to pass time, either when you're at stops along the trail or in the mornings or at night, just good things to create some family bonding.
And while you're walking too.
Yeah. Yeah, there's things you can do there. So those are some ideas you can be thinking about beforehand to help time. So Monday morning or Tuesday morning will be a good time to have like a family devotional. Again, after breakfast, you'll definitely have time. We don't plan to leave until around 9:30 on Tuesday morning. And then we'll be back out on the trail. It's not as long of a day. It's about 6.5 miles Tuesday. We'll have lunch the same thing around 1. And we'll actually probably be back to the camp closer to like 3:30 that afternoon. So same thing, we'll get to camp. We may have some Pioneer games that kids can play while you guys get there, get settled in. We'll have a dinner a little bit earlier that night, around 5 or 5:30. And then the plan Tuesday night is that we'll have a combined steak devotional fireside. And then once we're done with that, we'll invite families to go back together and have like an individual family testimony meeting. So the combined fireside won't be like a testimony meeting at the stake level. We'll have some music and some activities during the devotional, and then as families you'll go back and have your own individual testimony meeting. And again, you'll have some free time at that time with your kids. Day 3 is an earlier day. We plan to get up at 6, breakfast at 7. Again, you can have plan for a little family devotional Wednesday morning before breakfast. And then around 8 o'clock we'll leave, go about 2 miles, and then at around 10:30 we'll prepare for the women's pole. So that'll be Tuesday morning. And the missionaries will handle most of the process for that. We'll do some stuff before we leave regarding getting the men and the women together, having kind of a spiritual message before we head out that day. And then the women's pole will be at 10:30. If you've read about this in the handbook, it's a little bit of a different women's pole. It's not climbing up a rocky hill or going over a mountain. They've kind of ground up some of the sand to make it difficult to walk through. So they ask every girl has to have a handkerchief and sunglasses and a hat because it's really dusty. And so it's kind of just like pulling through really thick sand for the women's pole. So the men will line the sides and the women will walk through the middle, as you've experienced in the past if you have a women's pole. After that, we're actually pretty close to where we'll do a reenactment of the river crossing. This is right before the very end of the trek. There's not a river there. They've kind of created a river to where they have the youth, the boys will carry the women across the water. We'll have music playing. It's going to be pretty cool, a pretty cool finish to trek. But we'll take each of the women across the river, and then literally like half a mile or less is where the trek ends that day. So we'll have Chick-fil-A sandwiches for everybody at the end, and then we'll just basically clean up the hand cars, pack up, and head home. So they kind of estimate around 2:30 or so is when we'll be done on Wednesday. So kind of 2.5 days trek. Any questions? Again, this is kind of a general plan, maybe some specific time changes based on what you plan on doing, but that's kind of the general plan for the schedule.
Will we get some kind of itinerary that has all this information?
Yeah, so like I said, we'll send this to you right before trek. We just want to get everything. We don't want to send you multiple iterations of it, so we just want to give you an idea of everything. Yeah, Mike?
Then you said there will be a tent for the boys in each family and the girls in each family, and then the mom and pop brings their own tent.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the plan. We're counting up the number of tents right now within the stake. We're actually have to borrow some tents from the country crossing stake, because we have all the kids in our stake. You know, we have like twice as many as completed that, so, we're gonna, so, those are the bigger tents, typically the Kodiak, it's kind of 10 by 10, so we're trying to get for all the youth. And it's gonna be able to fit, like I said, you'll probably have at most 4 or 5 of each, girl, each boys, so they should be able to fit, no problem in a 10 by 10.
So you don't want us to go tents from our staff schedule?
No, we're coordinating all that.
And who'll be setting those up? Will the kids be setting them?
Yeah, families will set those up, so, yeah, make sure the kids work.
You're setting up your own tents, Mike.
Okay, good.
Big brother is in charge of setting up the tent.
Good. And distributing treats.
Yeah, exactly.
What about bugs?
Yes.
Yeah. It'll
Out
be
there.
A lot of it's gonna depend, when I talked to Brother Peter for a minute, and a lot of it's gonna just depend on water wise. Yeah, we are in a mosquito zone out there, if it continues to rain like this, we get puddled water. And you're also in an area where you're in open range. So a lot of it, they cut the hay and the alfalfa, but what we saw, sheep.
Yeah, so you're gonna do
Didn't see any cows yesterday, but there are cows out there, but they're gonna be back off to the west of us, but yeah, anytime
Yeah,
you're on
bring
a farm,
tons of bugs
it
through.
attracts bugs.
Alright, good.
So, there's a guy's house over here that says that I have horses, they smell, I have flies, I can't remember his name, was it flies? Yeah, it makes me
Yeah,
mad.
any other questions on the schedule? It's gonna be awesome. I love the way Messina set this trek up. Again, we're not spending hours and hours cooking and cleaning and trying to cram in all these activities. We're gonna have time. What's that?
Some of them.
Behind the scenes, there'll be a lot going on, but for the youth, it'll be, and for you as mom and pop, less stressful from that perspective, so you can focus on your kids and just having a really fun, enjoyable time. So, looking forward to it. Okay. Kevin.